All right, good morning and welcome to the Get Hired Summit. I am Sydney Dunn and I'm really excited to announce our participants this morning and our presenters with Fidelity Investments. We have Brian, Laurie, and Margot. All right. Done, and I'm really excited to just as a reminder, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and post those in the chat. We will have a Q&A at the end. And then also, please feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. You can include your LinkedIn information and any information that you think would be helpful for networking in the future. So I'm happy to turn the time over to Brian, Laurie, and Margot.
Thanks so much, Sydney. Now we're excited to be here today and talk a little bit about Fidelity Investments, where we work, and just give you a little bit of information on our company and sort of the things that we stand for and the different opportunities that we have available here. Excuse me. Please apologize. I'm dealing with a little bit of a head cold this morning, so if my voice is a little scratchy, that's why. But I'm pretty darn sure it's not coronavirus. So hopefully we're all good there. So Fidelity ultimately is a great company to work for. We're one of the most diversified financial services companies in the world. And we have really a full range of products and solutions for individual investors, employers, institutions, and intermediaries. And we employ more than 42,000 associates nationwide. Now, we are privately held, and as you may or may not know, the Johnson family is the majority holder here at Fidelity. And there are a lot of benefits for working for a privately held firm. Because we don't have the quarterly pressures of reporting to Wall Street, it gives us the opportunity to really innovate and invest as we see fit. It allows us also to really retain our entrepreneurial spirit, to have diversity in our business as opportunities arise, and to ensure the stability of the company overall. It allows us to take a really long-term view and position with our investments. One of the other real benefits is it allows us to really maintain a very strong benefits package. And these are elements that give us an enormous amount of flexibility and advantage that we wouldn't have if we were publicly held. Lastly, we take a lot of pride in being in being privately held. And this is an attribute that we've always tried to use to its advantage and believe it's the best way that we can ultimately serve our clients. So Fidelity has a lot of offices all across the nation. We have 10 regional offices, our regional centers where we typically have sometimes a couple thousand or more people in those, and over 190 financial planning offices, more of our branch offices across the nation as well. And like I said, we employ over 40,000 employees across the US ultimately. Excuse me. With that, our culture, the way that our company is run is really important to us. Our people really enjoy working as part of a greater team, and collaboration is really, really important to our team's success and that of our clients. We have an open workforce that represents diverse backgrounds and values, and no matter where we're working, we focus on delivering a really world-class and personalized experience. The culture is something that we take a lot of pride in being very welcoming, progressive, and inspiring overall. Right now, we're all working remote with the world that we're living in, with coronavirus. Back in March, pretty much the whole entire company was able to go work from home. Fidelity invested quite a bit in the infrastructure and getting everybody the capacity to do our jobs from home. With that, and before, we have really customized work schedules. We have great technology that helps us with that, as well as just different sort of flex time and abilities to work with different schedules throughout the week. One of the great parts that I really love about being at Fidelity is our employee resource groups. Now, these employee resource groups are ways for us to really build a broader community within Fidelity. It's something that we're dedicated to fostering that culture of diversity and inclusion. And these groups are really self-organized groups of Fidelity employees who have common interests, common backgrounds oftentimes, and they're open to all employees regardless of what your interest and background are. I'm part of most all of our employee resource groups, our women in leadership, women's leadership group, our enable group for employees who have disabilities or family members who do. There's a number of different groups that you can be a part of there and really help to be part of that broader community and build those connections. So I listed a couple: the women's leadership group, enable. We also have our Asian employee resource group that enhances the awareness of the Asian culture. We have Aspire, which is our Latino and Black resource group supporting leadership excellence. We have Fidelity Pride that fosters a working environment where employees reach their full potential while being open and authentic about themselves, as well as Fidelity 5, which is a network and support group for military veterans, and a number of different special interest groups that go along with each of those. Now, the last little bit that I'm going to talk about is really our benefits before I hand you over to Laurie to talk a little bit more. Benefits are one of the things that, frankly, I've enjoyed the very most about being at Fidelity. They're a huge reason why I've stayed here and why I have such loyalty and commitment to this company. That starts with really the work-life balance that we have. We have a number of different programs that help to engender that. We have paid time off. We have a number of different sort of recognition programs within the company for identifying where people our associates are doing a great job and helping to make sure they feel appreciated for that work. With careers, we have career development, we have training, performance management, and so many opportunities for advancement and growth. Our compensation is really broken down into three main components. It's our annual base pay. We have annual or quarterly bonuses, as well as there can be additional incentives that go along in there for different roles. And then there's a number of things around health and wellness. Our health insurance is fantastic. We have tremendous benefits around education, tuition reimbursement, student loan repayment. One of the ones that I love is we have a gift matching program, or if you're contributing to eligible 50C eligible institutions that I can't really say the tax code for some reason today, Fidelity actually has a matching program, typically for 50% that we match those contributions. That's one that I've been able to take advantage of quite a bit and be able to help leverage those contributions to better help the organizations that are really reaching out in the community. A big one for Fidelity this year was the food bank that we were able to do and have a huge impact on the local community and meals provided to those families who are in need or potentially struggling with some of the economic difficulties we have going on in our local and national communities right now. So that's a little bit about the benefits of Fidelity. Let me turn you over to Laurie to talk a little bit more.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone. My name is Laurie Thor. I am also a talent champion here at Fidelity. And basically, me and Brian get to have a really cool opportunity at Fidelity here, bringing people on to join our team. So we really love our role here at Fidelity. Both have at least a decade or more of experience at Fidelity. So we're happy to share what we love about Fidelity. So what I want to talk to you about is really as you might be out there seeking your next opportunity, your next job, whether you're looking at the financial industry as something new, right? An industry switch maybe, or if you've been in the financial industry before, you have that experience and you're wondering why Fidelity other than, any other financial firm. Right now, I think what's on everyone's mind is stability, right? Am I going to have that stability? I want to be with a company that values me, that I can see myself growing with long term, and really, as much as I invest into them, they invest back into me. And I guarantee you're going to find that here at Fidelity. So what I want to point out as to why Fidelity is we provide that stability. So as Brian mentioned, being privately held, that means, we can provide that stability. So we talk about the Fidelity Advantage. And what I mean by the Fidelity Advantage is we have a differentiated business model, which basically means we have a diversified portfolio of business units underneath the Fidelity umbrella that act as feeders for each other. So as we think about our client base and how we can provide solutions and services to them, we can actually cross between our different business units and continue to perform at a high level. Beyond that, the opportunity in front of us is huge. Fidelity has a large client base, and we serve more households in various ways than any other firm. So whether you're talking about women investors, millennial investors, pre-retirees and retirees, we have a large client base that we're working with already. And so that gives us strength. And then lastly, again, I'll just mention that being privately held means we can invest in our business for the long term. We don't have to answer to shareholders. Shareholders are not driving how we're doing business. We're not worried about quarter to quarter. We're worried about the next 5, 10, 20 years. And so again, that means we want to be around for our clients for the next 100 years or more. And so we're planning to do that. Now, beyond that, I also want to talk to you about what we provide to our clients. So we have a broad spectrum of service and solution offerings that we have for our clients. Essentially, no matter what life stage our clients are at, we have the product or solution for them. And we have a service that enables them to do their best in the financial world at whatever stage they're at. Whether we're talking about investment strategy, income protection, family assistance, retirement planning, or just asset protection, we have the right solution for that client. Now, beyond that, as we focus on bringing on new employees, we guarantee you will not fail due to a lack of training or support here at Fidelity. We provide more training and support than anyone else. As you look to start with Fidelity, again, whether you're coming in without that financial experience, that's okay. We give you all the training and support you need to learn it. It's very much like coming in and taking a condensed college course. We give you all the information you need. And if you're coming in from a financial background already, that's great. You're going to have a leg up, but we're going to help you learn the Fidelity way and the Fidelity programs, tools, and solutions. So we offer a great program to bring you on. Initially, you're going to, in this environment, be onboarded in a virtual environment, but we provide you with all the tools to be successful there. So we're going to engage you in independent learning. There's a lot of kind of freedom and flexibility with how you learn, and we want to make sure we support that for you. But we also have expert advice, whether that be through our learning and development facilitators, our onboarding team, our licensing team. They're there to support you and make sure you have what you need as well. And then you're not alone, right? I think right now we're all feeling very secluded in our houses, working from home and a little disconnected. And so we are intentional about making sure you're part of the learning cohort. You have peers that are going through this learning process together with you, and we make sure you're connecting at different points along the way so that you don't feel like you're alone. You have a group of peers that are there going through it with you and supporting you through it as well. And then even beyond, once you get through all the initial training, your leader will provide you with ongoing coaching and development. We're all about skill development here, and we want to make sure you're successful and you're growing and advancing in the way that you want to. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about the roles we have to offer. So as Brian mentioned, we're a large organization and we're a global organization. So in the US, we have basically our regional centers, which house a large swath of our employees. So we have regional centers across the nation, and the one here we have in Salt Lake City downtown, and then we have one based in American Fork, Utah. And beyond the regional centers, we also have a network of branch offices, and that's where we meet our clients in person and face-to-face. I believe currently we have about 192 branch offices across the world in different locations. Now there's our branch investor center roles that we have available, and then we have our regional center phone roles that are available. On the investor center branch side, you can look at wealth management type roles, in a financial representative, relationship manager, planning consultant. We also have many opportunities in the investment consultant, financial consultant realm. And then if you want to be more of that coach and management, regional planning consultant, assistant branch manager, those types of roles can be available as well in our branch offices. Now for our regional center roles, we kind of divvy up between service roles and sales roles. Now the way I would think about that is what type of person are you, right? Are you the type of person that thrives in that problem solving arena? You like complex problems, you like being a technical expert, you like to be kind of specialized in one area or another, and you love helping people, right? If that's who you are and that's what you love to do, then our service roles are for you, right? You can be that technical expert, solving problems, helping people, answering questions, and being that go-to person. Now, on the sales side, and I frankly I'm not in love with the word sales, but I would say more of a consultative sales role. You're going to be that person who wants to go from A to Z, the kind of entire planning process with a client, right? So you're the type of person who is wanting to ask a lot of questions. You're really curious. You really want to understand their situation and then be an expert at all the products and solutions that we have to offer our clients, so that once you understand their solution, you can find the right product for them that's going to help their situation. And that's going to cover more of those sales roles. So think about the type of person you are and what you would want to do. And that's where you can kind of direct yourself as to what type of role you might be drawn to here at Fidelity. Now, as for our service roles, if you're not licensed, so that Series 7 and 63 license is required for the majority of the roles we have here. The recommendation is that you would come in and join what we call our customer relationship advocate role. That's really our entry-level service role, and that's where you're going to be provided with a ton of training support. That licensing is paid study time to come in prepared, take those licensing exams and get licensed, and then we'll teach you everything you need to know about finance. Now, if you have some of that experience out in the financial world and can bring some of that with you and you have those licenses, some of our other service roles might be for you, whether it's working with our transition services team, our high net worth team, or an active trader team. That might be something of interest to you. Now, on the sales side, again, if you're coming in without those licenses or without a ton of financial experience, but you have that sales mentality, maybe some other sales type experience, you could come and enjoy one of our workplace planning associate roles, potentially one of our investment solution roles. Beyond that, we have some other consultant and client relationship manager roles you can look at if you have some of that experience and those licenses. Now, with that, I just want to close and talk to you about why you should choose Fidelity. First of all, you know, a lot of people who Brian and I talk to, we like to ask, you know, what's most important to you as you're looking at your next opportunity? What's most important to you? And by a large amount, most people talk to us about the culture, the people. Am I going to feel valued? Is there opportunity for growth and advancement? And I can guarantee you we have those here at Fidelity. Myself, I'm coming up on my 15-year anniversary here at Fidelity. And, you know, one of the main reasons I've stuck around for 15 years is the people, is the culture. At the end of the day, we're looking for those people to join our team that are highly devoted to helping people, have that genuine, sincere desire to want to help others. And if you can imagine just filling a room full of people like that, you're just going to have this natural positive culture and energy without a lot of effort. And I think that's really what we've built here at Fidelity, is just that supportive, collaborative environment for our associates and for our clients, honestly. And as far as advancement and growth, what I would say is our organization is set up to naturally have that internal flow through. So because we have a lot of people coming in through some of these more entry type roles, getting licensed, we need people to grow through our organization to grow into these higher level roles. And so it just creates this natural flow through, and we really encourage that career development and advancement so that you can succeed and do what you want to do here at Fidelity. So with that, we just are really excited to be able to talk to you today. Again, me and Brian love Fidelity and are happy to talk about it. So we're happy to take any questions that you have at this point and really make sure you feel comfortable exploring the options at Fidelity.
Great. Thank you so much, Laurie and Brian, for your comments. I do have a few questions in the chat that I want to offer up. So first of all, I know actually a few people have been asking about remote opportunities. Right now, I guess the two key questions are, is everyone remote? And long term, does it look like you will continue to be remote, or I mean, are there opportunities for people to work from other locations that could be long-term remote, or are you probably looking to have to bring people in once offices are opening more consistently?
That's a great question. Let me kind of explain where we're at with that. So let me start by giving you some context as to what our remote capabilities were before COVID-19 started. So the business had invested pretty dramatically in a lot of the ability to work from home before this. FINRA, our regulatory agency, has had some rules around how much work from home could be done. Before COVID-19, it was basically a 50% rule where you could work at home up to 50% of the time in any given month. Those have all been suspended essentially with the onset of this current pandemic. What we don't know is what things are going to look like after this. Right now, everybody, the entire company is all working from home pretty much 100% of the time. We have a number of different contingency plans in place that depend on our individual locations for regional centers and branch offices that could be different depending on sort of state and local regulations or rules regarding what's going on with COVID-19. There are a lot of plans being implemented that we're going to try to take advantage of whenever this does end. We will come back to the office at some point, but honestly, we don't really 100% know what that looks like yet because some of it's up in the air with the regulations that we have ultimately. But that's essentially where we're at there is we don't 100% know, but right now everybody's at home.
Great. And quite a few people asked about specific positions that may be available, like in marketing. There was a software engineer looking for a position and a couple others, including product management. I'm wondering if you can just provide a link, or where can people turn to look for open positions right now?
Yeah, happy to take that question, and thanks for the answer. So again, we have many positions of currently available and currently posted. So I would encourage any of those who are interested to check out jobs.fidelity.com. That is where you're going to see all of the available jobs posted. You can search by keyword or by job state or by category to see what's available. But you're also going to find a lot more information there online to learn about Fidelity, the different locations we have available, different career areas, benefits, if you're a student, what you can expect in that regard. And I would encourage you, as you go to that site, again, jobs.fidelity.com, that you join what we call the talent network. So if you can enter your information and kind of begin a profile there, whether or not the job that you might be interested in is posted now, you can get a notification for a future job opportunity there.
Great. A couple of our participants today asked about constraints on hiring U.S. citizens and those with U.S. citizenship. And just if you could review whether that's something that you are currently having a constraint with, or whether that's just through the Get Hired Summit.
So I don't know that I can go into too much detail here. What I do know is that if you are basically approved to work in the US, we can usually work with you. It depends on the role that you're applying for and the different kind of laws and regulations around that. But I would certainly just say the best thing you can do is if you find a job opportunity that you'd like to apply, right? And then our recruiters will work with you to determine your status and whether or not that will be a barrier.
Okay, perfect. Those were some of the main questions that we had. I did have a couple of people ask if the two of you are willing to share your information for follow-up questions, or what would be the best way to go about contacting you?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. You can contact us definitely through LinkedIn. We're both actively involved on there through LinkedIn. You can just look it up via our names. If you really want to, I guess you can just hit me up directly on email as well. But LinkedIn is probably the best way to actually go about that in an official capacity.
Yeah, the other
Great.
thing I would just offer out there is there's a ton of information. So again, if you go to our website, you're going to find a bunch of information and answers to maybe some of your questions there. Another thing I would offer up though is on YouTube, we have our own channel. If you search up Fidelity Jobs, there's a Fidelity Jobs channel with just a ton of different videos that you can watch that and hear from current associates and employees in different facets of our business to understand what it's like and try to get that point of view. I know, typically when we were back in the office, we would give tours all the time, right? People who are interested, we'd have them come in, take a look around the office, come talk to us, talk to current associates. And, that was really one way we tried to help you get an insight into what this would be like. Without having that option right now, I love presenting these videos on YouTube as kind of the best alternative we have to helping you gain some insight into what it would be like to work at Fidelity. But again, Brian and I are both active on LinkedIn, and we'd be more than happy to start connecting there, having a conversation, and even following up further from there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Brian and Laurie. It looks like I had a couple people ask actually about senior positions. Are you hiring for any executive or senior roles right now, or is that something that would be best to look into on your website?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Like Laurie was saying, that changes regularly. There are definitely more senior level positions that are open. Going to the website, to the Fidelity Jobs website is definitely the best way to identify those opportunities as they come available. They're not as posted regularly as some of the more entry level jobs are. So that's a great resource to start with.
Yeah, and I would just add to that. So, like I just looked up, just for in Utah. Now, if you search just by Utah, there's 21 jobs posted currently. So there's a lot of variety and opportunity there. But they do range from more of our customer service side of the business to our tech side of the business. So if you're interested in more of the technical side, there's definitely opportunities there for you. Unfortunately, Brian and I aren't really the experts on that side of the business, but we're happy to help direct people if needed. But just for instance, there is actually a VP regional leader job posted currently. To answer your question around a senior level role, there's at least one there available that's very high level.
Great. Well, thank you, Brian and Laurie. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up our session today?
No, I would just, I guess I would just say, if you have any interest at all, and if you want to learn more, check us out on LinkedIn, go check out those videos on YouTube. And really the best thing you can do is just apply, right? If you find a role that you might be interested in, go through the process. You're going to talk to our recruiters. They're going to provide you with a ton of additional information and be able to direct you in the right way. And then, of course, if you get in front of Brian and I in an interview setting, we're happy to go through that process with you as well and make sure you understand the expectations and what this is all about. And really, that's the best way you're going to learn about this is go through the process, apply. Let's see if it's a good fit. We very much take the approach of, let's interview you, but let's have you interview us, right? We want to make sure you understand what this is, what you're signing up for, where you can go. Because at the end of the day, we're here to make sure you have long-term success at Fidelity. It's not just all about us finding the right candidate.
Great. Well, thank you both so much. And thanks to all of our participants today and for your questions. Again, visit jobs.fidelity.com to be able to find some of those postings, and feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. That's highly encouraged as a way to continue asking questions, network, look for those within your network who can connect you. And also, thanks so much for using Mentorly. We look forward to seeing you in later sessions today.